Beware of the toxic twin flame community. And no, it is not just Jeff and Shelia and their twin flame universe cult. By the way, I do have reaction videos on the Netflix documentary about that, but it's not just them. There's a lot of toxicity going on in the twin flame community, and I'm giving you some examples in order for you to check if you do have some of those traits, and that is okay because you can actively change them, and you can, for example, use Ho'oponopono to clear those and forgive those traits within yourself to then further ascend. But also you will know what to look out for in order not to be pulled into some kind of trap or being manipulated by people who may not mean as well with you as you may think. What toxic things can happen in a twin flame community? Well, first of all is defining the relationship. No one can tell you if you're a twin flame or not. Well, it's easier to say if somebody is not a twin flame, like there's toxic abusive behavior, then it is clearly not a twin flame. A twin flame may withdraw. They may tell you that they don't want to be with you in order to trigger your fears of loss and abandonment so you can address and heal them, but they will not be abusive and toxic towards you. So it can be easier to define what is not a twin flame, but no good coach would ever tell you this is your twin flame, because there is so much stigma attached to that label that people then think, oh my God, I can never get over that person, I can never heal from that. And that can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, because we do manifest everything ourselves, and these kind of assumptions can absolutely manifest in like a devil's circle, and then that's a German word, devil's circle, vicious circle you say in English, right? It can manifest in a vicious circle that you're going to be stuck in then, because we can make mistakes. And I have been coaching since 18 years now, and even though I would say I'm pretty good at my job, nobody is perfect. I could make a mistake. That is why I never label another person's connection, and that could be very harmful. So when I have the sense it could be a twin flame, then I would say either check my twin flame video, like 20 signs of twin flame connections, and see what you resonate with, or learn more about it and then see what resonates. It is something that has to come within you. It cannot be confirmed by outside sources. So that is something you need to be aware of. Don't trust people that tell you, yeah, I can tell you who your twin flame is. No, no one can. It's your job and only yours. Then beware of people who feel that they're entitled. You know, I am a twin flame, and a twin flame is better than a soulmate. Somebody who is on a real twin flame journey will sooner or later realize that love is love, and that everything is special, and that we are all connected, and they will drop the label. The label is important in order to know what you're dealing with, in order to grow and ascend and maybe seek information and help, but it is not important for any kind of hierarchy. So if you see people who think that they are better than soulmates, they're not twin flames, because a twin flame is about ascension, and ascension is about realizing that everything has its purpose, everything is connected, we are all the same. There's no entitlement in ascension. I already have recorded a video about how the divine feminine, or rather distorted feminine, can be narcissistic. So please check that out, because I go in detail about that in that video. But some may have narcissistic traits. They want to be admired. They think that they're the only ones who are right. And again, watch that video. I go into that in depth. Another toxic thing is talking bad about the runners, because they have their own trauma, they have their own stuff, and then many people or distorted feminine are pointing at them. They're running, they're not ready, it's their fault, they're not choosing me. And some really get nasty talking about the person they love. But this is not love, it's obsession. So if you feel that they're not talking about the person from a loving heart, but there's hate or anger, then it is obsession and not a twin flame. Yes, in a twin flame, in the beginning part, there can be some kind of obsession as well, but it still comes from a loving heart and not a judgmental heart. Because again, a twin flame connection is about healing and ascension, and judging other people is something we rather quickly have to drop for the most part. I'm not saying that we completely ever drop that, because we are humans, we still have our ego no matter how evolved we are, and that is just the way our minds work. Our minds always subconsciously sort things into different categories, and we do have our assumptions that may be hidden. So of course something can come up, but an ascended person would then realize, okay, I have been a little bit judgmental here, and then look at that. Why am I judgmental? Because when we judge others, we are judging a fragment of ourselves, because everyone is us pushed out. So when we encounter something we don't like, it shows us something that is hidden within ourselves that we don't like. I'm not saying that an ascended person cannot ever get triggered, of course, but it's the way how you deal with that, and that will get less and less and less and less over time. But of course we are still humans, and that will still happen occasionally. If there's a lot of victim mentality, I already said it, blaming the others, but I'm the one who's treated bad, and they do this to me and they do that to me. Again, not a twin flame. And there are some people who seem to encourage that, and then they write articles about that and how the other person is narcissistic. And beware of that, because as soon as they blame the other person, they have not realized yet that the other person is simply a mirror of something that is hidden within themselves. So they're still pointing to the outside instead of looking to the inside. And if you encounter that, then they're not awakened, they're not ascended yet, they won't be able to help you. Don't trust their judgment. Any kind of entitlement, the feminine is better than the masculine, the masculines, they're all evil, they're runners, I am a star seed, I'm here to help mankind, and I have this mission here, I have to help humanity because they can't do it themselves. If you encounter any kind of that, God complex, narcissism, then again, not awakened yet. Be mindful, be aware. So observe your sources, analyze your sources, feel into their energy, see how they're talking about others and to others, and that will tell you if they are awakened or not. If they're not a twin flame, or in the very beginning and they can't teach you anything or very little. So be mindful of that, okay, because that could keep you stuck. Anyway, I hope this video helped. If it did, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I can check out the Twin Flame 101 playlist. I have pretty much every twin flame related questions answered there. And if you want to work on your self-concept, you can check out my subliminals and affirmation videos. And everyone is mirroring you, so if you work on your self-concept, you will get that mirrored back. So check out those videos. I see you there or in personal coaching. Until then, I wish you all the best now. Bye bye.